Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most emotionally divisive, complex, and let's be honest, brilliant video game endings of the last decade, The Last of Us Part 2. This video will heavily discuss the plot of the second game, so if you don't want any spoilers, please leave now. Let me take you back to 3 months after the world was impacted by an actual pandemic. The Last of Us Part 2 was released in June of 2020. It personally felt really weird playing a game about a pandemic within a pandemic. Like many of you, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it to distract myself from the everyday shittiness we were all experiencing. And after playing the game and getting to the end of it, I found myself absolutely hating it. Like so many of you, I waited 7 years to dive back into this world and play as Joel again, only to have him ripped away in one of the most brutal scenes I've ever seen in a game. Not only do we lose Joel, then we have to play as the person who committed the murder. Are you fucking kidding me? It felt sickening. It felt like a betrayal to a character we legitimately loved and still love. Flash forward 5 years later, I've replayed it for the second time, and this time around, it's left me constantly thinking about it. And I now see it much differently than 5 years ago. I think The Last of Us Part 2 might just be a masterpiece. Here's why. At launch, the reaction was intense, and understandably so. We lost Joel early, Abby became a playable character, and Ellie, our girl, spiraled deep into the bleak, endless cycle of revenge. There were some other unpopular character features, but we don't have to go into them during this video. The level of how far the writing went to make us like Abby and begin to despise Ellie in this game just felt wrong. It felt like we were betrayed, but maybe that was the point. Because this world, the world of The Last of Us, doesn't play by our emotional rules. It's not built for satisfying heroes' journeys. It's built to make us feel, and feel deeply, even when it hurts. Let's talk about Abby for a second. I hated playing as her the first time, but on the replay, it's absolutely brilliant. The game forces you to walk in the shoes of someone you absolutely despise. And then it forces you to empathize with them. You see her friends, her motivations, her heartbreak between her father and losing other loved ones. As you're playing as Ellie, early in the game, you killed WLF soldiers in a rage-filled hospital run. Only later in the game, you're walking around that same space as Abby, talking to those people you slaughtered earlier in the game. It makes you feel a certain way and almost guilty. It's a very commendable feat to be able to give any sort of life to the endless hordes of NPCs we run through in every other game that we play without any sort of guilt attached to it. So when many people cast this story off as simply a revenge story, it's not. It's much more than that. It's a human story. Now let's move ahead to break down the ending, because this is one of my favorite parts and it had me thinking about this for days on end after. Ellie rescues Abby, half dead, broken, chained to a pillar. Abby is a complete shell of herself at this point and isn't even close to the imposing figure who beat Ellie twice previously. And here's where Druckmann flexes the storytelling brilliance. 2 boats. If there was only one boat, the choice would be simple. Abby and Lev would die. But 2 boats, it represents a choice, a visual metaphor for the exit from revenge. There is another path. It seems like Ellie is about to leave in the boat and let Abby and Lev go as she puts her pack down. But Ellie can't let go. PTSD, grief, and the trauma Joel left behind, it's too much. She has to try. The fight that follows isn't about victory. It's about desperation. Ellie needs to know whether her revenge will heal her. And then when she has Abby a few seconds away from death, she stops. Not because she's forgiving Abby, but because she finally realizes that it won't bring Joel back. It won't give her the peace. It's too late. One of the most heartbreaking parts of the game is when Joel talks to Ellie in a quiet flashback really towards the end. He says, "If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again."
All over
And
again.
Ellie, angry and broken, tells him, "I don't think I can ever forgive you, but I'd like to try." That's the real loss here. They were on the road to healing, then everything shattered when Abby arrived. That
Yes.
guilt, Ellie carries it, and it's heavier than anything else
Don't
she's
think I
had to
can ever
deal with.
forgive you for that.
In the final scene, Ellie tries to play the guitar that Joel taught her on. She can't. She's missing fingers from her last battle with Abby, the cost of her revenge. The song, Joel's song, is now lost to her forever. It's devastating because revenge didn't just cost her time or blood or even A Happy Life with Dina and JJ. It cost her music, her peace, her connection to Joel, and the ability to ever repair their relationship. The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't care about happy endings. It cares about honest ones. And in that honesty, we see ourselves, our grief, our pettiness, our inability to let go, even when we know we should. It's not just about a cycle of revenge, it's about the cost of that revenge, the weight of trauma, and the fragile humility that ties us all together. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, this is one of those rare games that doesn't just tell a story, it asks something of you. It demands you feel, reflect, and wrestle with the choices that are made. And that's why now I think the ending of The Last of Us Part 2 is damn near perfect. If you made it this far, thank you. Please be sure to drop a comment if the ending hit you differently on your second playthrough. Would love to talk to you about it. This is a story that hurts, but in the best way possible, and that's what gaming's about. See you in the next one.